Hey everybody, my name is Abby. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome if you're new. Today I'm going to be talking about how I maintain my hair using cruelty-free and vegan products. So if you're interested in that, just stay tuned. Just a disclaimer before we start. Obviously, I had to bleach my hair to do this, so everything that I say in this video, I'm not a hairdresser, I'm not a licensed beautician or anything like that. This is just what works for me and what I do to try to minimize the damage from bleaching. I know it's still going to damage, but this is how I make it less damaging. So hopefully this helps. Let me know what kind of videos you want to see and subscribe so you don't miss any other videos. And yeah, so the first thing I do is before I even start trying to bleach or do anything is basically you'll want to really deep clean your hair. So use like clarifying shampoo, which I'll also use later on in the video. But just clean it out, get all the dry shampoo, all the product, everything out, and then let it sit for a few days. So don't put any dry shampoo or anything else in it. Make sure that it's clean and free of product, but leave it for a few days. That way it gets kind of greasy. That's going to help with the bleaching. Bleach does sting a little bit on your scalp, but that's really helped by making it oily. So if you just wash your hair really squeaky clean and your scalp's all dry, the bleach is probably going to sting a little bit more than if you leave it dirty. Even if you go to a salon, they're going to say that to have it dirty when you come in. So then once I do that, I will trim my hair just so there's less to bleach or dye or whatever you're doing to it, and to get all the dead ends out. So I will just section it up, like kind of take, you can probably see in the video, but I'll take like this section and then this section maybe, just so it's not all one length and it's like all poofy at the bottom, you know. So I just kind of like, you know, this piece is a little bit longer than this piece, or this piece is shorter than this piece, I should say. I feel like that helps. And my hair is naturally wavy. I wear it wavy. I don't straighten it. I feel like if you straighten your hair, it probably matters a little bit more that you get it cut straight. But since I leave mine wavy, it doesn't really matter. Like, you wouldn't even really be able to tell that I cut it myself, honestly. But you also, if you're doing this the first time yourself, you'll want to invest in a pair of shears. You don't want to use like craft scissors or your kitchen shears or whatever else that you have. You want hair cutting shears. They are a lot sharper and a lot better to cut your hair with, because if you use like dull scissors, it's going to make your ends split faster. And also when you're cutting it, you don't want to go just hack it straight across. You'll want to, I mean, if you're cutting off a lot of length, you can hack it straight across at first, but then go just kind of cut like upwards like this, and don't cut your finger, because I did that the first time that I cut my hair on my own. But just kind of cut it up like that. You can see as I'm doing this kind of in the video that I recorded while I was doing it, and I think that makes it look a little more natural when you kind of feather it out like that. I also have thinning shears, but I didn't use those this time because I didn't think I needed to. But if my hair gets feeling really thick at the bottom, I will just thin out, like maybe, like if I was going to do it now, I would probably like section it off and do like a little bit here, just so like the ends of it aren't so thick. I probably don't go overboard with thinning shears though. Basically what thinning shears are, I'll put a picture of them up, but they have like little teeth, so they don't cut your hair all the way straight across, they just cut like part of it. And the one thing, if you do use thinning shears, don't be a blonde like I was. One time I accidentally grabbed my regular shears when I meant to grab my thinning shears, so don't do that. I think that piece is like almost, I think it was this piece right here, but it's like almost gotten grown out now, so it's fine. But if it would have been bad if it was like this piece or something. That's also why I don't recommend using thinning shears like way up toward the top, because it's not going to be good if you use the wrong ones. So once I do that, I'll kind of comb through it and get all of the extra hair off. That's also why I just kind of wear an old shirt that you don't mind getting hair on, because if you don't have like a cape or something, you can probably just wear an old shirt. And I used to wear tank tops when I did it, but then the hair would like go down in the tank top and itchy, so don't do that. But maybe wear like a shirt like that with a high neck, that way it doesn't get all over you. So now on to how I mix the bleach. So this is called a bleach bath. It is a thing. You can read about it, like just Google bleach bath or bleach wash or something, and that should come up with other people's experiences. I read a ton of articles, watched a lot of videos about it before I started doing it, so I definitely suggest doing the same thing instead of taking just my advice. But this basically just kind of dilutes the bleach so that it's not so harsh and it's not as fast. So if you just use plain bleach straight out of the box or out of the bottle or whatever it comes in, it's going to be a lot more harsh and a lot faster processing, and it's kind of nerve-wracking to deal with. The first time that I bleached my hair, I like the whole head at the same time, I just stood there with my gloves on in the bathroom like this, literally like this, like just waiting for it to be ready to rinse out. That way I can just do it really fast. So what I do is if I'm just doing my roots, I'll do about half package of this. But if you're doing your whole head, do the whole package. If you have really long hair, I would say you might need 2 of these. But the brand that I use most often is Manic. I actually got these on clearance on Ulta.com a couple months ago. You can get them at Sally's and Ulta, and probably on Manic's website, I'm sure. But I've also used the Arctic Fox Bleach Please kit, which I did not dilute that one, and it was very strong and it burned. But that's, like I said, that's normal for like full strength bleach. So. And also Good Dye Young is another cruelty-free brand that makes bleach kits. I've never tried theirs. And also at Sally's you can pick up like just a bleach powder and then a developer on their own, but I don't know for sure if any of those are cruelty-free. But the Manic one comes in, I believe, 30, and mostly I've seen it in 40 volume. Some places I've seen it in 30 volume. So the difference there is that 40 volume is going to be the strongest. Like I'm pretty sure that's the strongest developer that you can get. And then you can buy a developer that's low as I think 5 or 10 volume, which is going to be not as strong. It's not going, basically the developer kind of just opens up your hair to the bleach. That way it can take the pigment out. And the stronger the developer is, the more that it's going to bleach your hair. So if you have like darker hair, I would definitely, for anybody really, I definitely suggest to use a lower volume developer if you can get a hold of some, or even like the 30 volume Manic. But the way I do it, I dilute it anyways, so it's kind of the same. But just err on the side of caution if you're doing it the first time, especially if you have really dark hair. You're probably going to need to do 2 sessions, and do not do them both in the same day. So if you do it once, because you don't want to leave it on for too long, but if your hair is really dark, you might need to do it a second time. Don't do it the same day because your hair needs time to like recuperate, and you will 100% fry it if you try to do it twice in one day. So don't say I didn't warn you. But anyways, I will mix up half of the packet of bleach and half of the little bottle developer. I don't think it's like super important they're exactly half, but get it as close as you can. And then I will mix those up with the little brush, and I don't use the cup that comes with it. It comes with a little mixing bowl, but I don't think it's big enough, especially if you're using the whole thing, if you're going to be adding in the shampoo. So I'll mix that up, and then what I do is I take this Paul Mitchell clarifying shampoo and then put in a little bit in there, about as much as you would use for shampooing your hair normally. I'll mix that together, and you don't want to put too much in the shampoo because that makes it really liquidy and hard to work with. Then also after you do that, you'll want to get your hair a little bit damp, so I put my hair under the sink or just kind of splash water on. Just because I was doing my roots, I didn't get my whole head wet, but just get like the roots and everything a little bit damp, and then you will just apply the bleach. So I started the back of my head, but if you're doing like the whole length of your hair, you want to start at the ends and then work your way up, because you can get what's called hot roots, which is where the roots of your hair will process a lot faster than the ends because of the heat from your head. So in order to keep it even, you want to start at the roots and go up. But if you're just doing your roots anyways, then it's fine to just start from there. I usually start at the back because once I like flip my head over under the sink, that's what I wash out first. So that's why I start at the back, which you can do however you're comfortable with. Then you just apply that in sections. So I have this clip that I put up. So I'll do like, I don't remember if I showed it in the video, but I'll just do like this tiny little section and then like start at the back, and then I will do like this way down, and then do like the upper part of the next section, and then put that down, and then do down like that, and then up like that, and basically then it's all the way up my whole head. And then once I get to the top, I will just do like kind of part it a little bit, and then flip it over, and then do that, and then flip it over. Hopefully this makes sense from what I'm saying, and you can probably figure it out. With the shampoo and everything in it, it shouldn't like develop too fast. At least in my experience, it doesn't go very, very fast. I know when I used the Arctic Fox one undiluted, it definitely bleached really fast, and I did not leave it on long enough on the front because the back was like done. So that's why I definitely suggest to dilute it so that way you don't have that problem. So once you've got it applied, and if you have any left over, it doesn't hurt to put more on, just where you think you might need it, like especially in the back. I usually can miss parts like around here. So just take the rest of it, like slather it on the back, but make sure if you're not doing your whole hair, don't like get it, you know, where you don't want it to be, because then that can cause unnecessary damage. So then once that is, you've got it all applied and everything, you think you've got it good, make sure you get, especially for glasses like me, get like this part, because I can kind of, I think I missed it this time, but get that, and it won't hurt your glasses. You can just wipe it off later. And then you'll put that, you'll just kind of twist it up and put that little processing cap on that it comes with, and you'll want to check it every few minutes just to, I usually just check the front because that's the last thing that I applied it to, and then make sure that it is light enough. And once it's done processing, it will probably be orange or yellow, and you don't want to keep bleaching it past that point, because you need to just use toner, because you'll just ruin your hair if you try to keep bleaching it to get the yellow out, because that's not how it works. So once you have thoroughly rinsed the bleach out, if you think it's good enough, then you want to shampoo it at least once, maybe twice, to get all of that out and make sure that it's not, you know, still on there and still bleaching. So then once that's done, I will mix up a toner. So you can buy toning shampoos, but I don't think they're quite strong enough for the first application. I'll do this probably every month or so just to kind of keep up on it, because like water can have like mineral stuff in and can make your hair get a little more orange, or a little more like orange yellow kind of, if you're staying at blonde. But if you are dyeing it a different color afterwards, this probably doesn't matter. But you can probably just do it once if you're going to dye it a different color. You just want it as close to white as you can if you are doing a, you know, a bright color or pastel or something. But once you dye it that color, you don't have to do this again, I don't think, at least in my experience. So then I will mix whatever conditioner that you have. It doesn't really matter. I'd probably pick one that's a little more hydrating, just to use as a treatment also after you've bleached it, because it definitely, it can be really hard to detangle your hair after it's bleached, like fresh bleach. And I just take a wide tooth comb and like gently brush it out to get all the tangles out. But so I will take whatever conditioner that I have and mix like 1, maybe 2 drops of this Purple Rain hair dye from Arctic Fox. You can use whatever purple hair dye that you have. It's just really easy to dispense this one. I think Manic only has hair dye in like tubs, but I'm pretty sure they probably have a purple one. Then you'll want to mix the dye in with the conditioner until it is like a pale lavender color. You don't want it too dark, because then that can stain your hair. It happened to me this last time that I did touch up my roots. I mean, you probably still kind of see it like right here, but that should rinse out in like 1 or 2 washes, so it's not that big of a deal. But you're not trying to like dye your hair light purple. You're just trying to tone out, because purple counteracts yellow, so that's why you want to use purple. And I know Pacifica has a toning shampoo that's purple that they just came out with. There's probably a lot of brands that have them. And like day-to-day maintenance, I use this one from Lush called Sugar Daddy-O. I think they have a liquid one too, I'm not sure, but I use the solid one because I'm trying to make less waste. So I'll just take that conditioner bar and like scrub it on my hair, and when it's like fully wet in the shower. Because usually when you take like you apply conditioner or shampoo or something, you kind of like squeeze the extra water out of your hair before you apply it. But that one you really have to leave the water in, or it doesn't work as well. So I'll use that like day-to-day maintenance. I wash my hair probably every 3 or 4 days. So I will try to use that shampoo or that conditioner as much as possible. That way it doesn't have a chance to get brassy again. But anyways, back to the actual toner. So you'll mix that together, and then I usually apply it on wet hair. If you apply it on dry hair, it can be a little bit too strong. So I will put that on. That's why I didn't really show me applying it, because I put it on the shower. But I'll put it on basically just my whole roots and my hair, and make sure that it gets into like the back of your head, and then like, you know, back here in this part, because that can be yellow too, and you see that when your hair is up. So don't leave that on for very long, maybe 10 minutes. You can redo this as many times as you need to in order to get it the yellow to come out, but you can't really tell until your hair is dry. And I do still have some like this that's still orange, because my hair, if you scroll back through my old videos, my hair was like bright orange at one point, but I My old job didn't allow it, so I just kind of let it fade and then kept my hair like this, but I kind of like this, so I just have left it. And I could bleach this out if I wanted to, but I really don't want to mess with risking damaging it even more, so I'm just gonna leave it. I think it's fine. I don't really think it looks bad, so I mean, you might, but I don't. So I'm gonna leave that, and then I've just been trimming it as often as I can. Like every time I redo my roots, I will trim a little bit off, so that way hopefully that kind of grows out, because my hair does grow pretty fast. Then like I said, just day-to-day maintenance, you can get one of those purple shampoos, but I will just use this purple conditioner from Lush, and then if it gets really bad, then I will just mix up another batch of this toner that you can use with any conditioner, and then one bottle of that purple hair dye will last you forever if this is all you're doing with it. So I think that is it. Let me know if you have any questions. Hopefully I covered everything, and this is the third time that I'm filming this, so it's kind of blurring together if I mentioned this stuff or not. But I believe I hit on everything important, like the bleach bath and all that fun stuff. So again, I'm not a hairdresser, so take my advice with a grain of salt. This is what works for me. I'm okay with risking my hair because I've saved a lot of money going to salons over the past several years by doing it myself. But if you don't want to risk it, then maybe wait until you can go back to a salon. Again, yeah, I don't want anybody to like get scolded by their hairdresser if they try to do it themselves. But you know, you gotta do what you gotta do, I suppose. And then after you do all that, your hair is totally ready to apply like a fun hair color or something. I definitely recommend the Arctic Fox brand, or there's Manic Panic and A Good Dye Young that all make semi-permanent hair dye, so they will wash out eventually. It just takes them a little while longer than like temporary. So that was it. Let me know what you think. Give this video a thumbs up if that was interesting, and subscribe so you don't miss any other videos. And let me know again if you have any questions or what other kind of videos you want to see, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.